Knowing your numbers, understanding your financials is essential for making informed business decisions and achieving long term success. However, it can be super challenging to know where to start, especially if you're not a financial expert. When I started my business, I was anything but an expert, so I know how daunting it can be, especially if you're not interested in finance. But you really do need to understand some basics. So let's start simple. First, you need to understand revenue. Revenue is the money that your business generates from sales or services. It's essential to track your revenue because you need to know how much money your company is making. It also shows you trends or changes over time. This is often referred to as your top line. We won't complicate this further yet. Next up is cost of goods sold. What does it cost you to make your product or sell your service? This will give you gross margin or GM. Simply put, this is what you have left over once you remove the direct costs associated with your product or service. If you have a negative number here, you're in big trouble. There will be future lessons on margin. Third, you need to understand is expenses. This is every other cost that you have, whether it's wages, rent, office expenses, office supplies. Tracking your expenses is really easy if you stay on top of it, and really important because it shows you where you might be blowing out. Next up is net profit or net income. What are you making after you take all your expenses and costs out of your revenue line? A positive net profit means, of course, your business is making money. A negative one, not good news. A lot of startups are, of course, not profitable for the first year or two. But understanding this is really critical for business success going forward. The fifth thing to understand is not one number, it's cash flow. Cash flow is the actual money going in and out of your account. So, for example, you may make a sale to a retailer in March, but you might not get paid to it till April. It's really important to understand that distinction. And it took me longer than I really want to admit to understand that profitability does not mean you have enough cash. And cash is king. If you run out of cash, even if you're profitable, your business will die. You need to understand what the cash in your company is doing. Then finally is your balance sheet. Your balance sheet is things like liabilities, assets, overall, if your company is solvent or not. This is far from a comprehensive breakdown, but this is a good start. It can be really tempting to go and do a course because a lot of this might seem overwhelming to you, but I wouldn't. I would speak to your accountant. I would get them to teach you the basics, and a good one will want you to understand those basics because they will keep a job, but also to make their life easier. You absolutely pick this sort of stuff up easier on the job than you would do doing a course.